I am a story, as is everyone else in existence. My parents were a story, and I guess I was the sequel, if we're putting it like that. My parents, friends, the people you work with, the people you pass by on the street, never to see again, everything that breathes life, they are nothing but stories. If you think about it, every story has a beginning, the start of an adventure or the start of a journey. And that journey is life. Every story has an ending, something I don't think I'll ever be ready for. And usually, stories have their ups and downs, their different tones, different lengths, different experiences, and there's not a single story that is perfect. And when we end our stories, we sometimes glance back to our favourite parts and embrace those moments, just to relive those memories again. But even at the end, we're left wondering, is there more to expand upon? Liam? Liam, are you there? Hold on, that's a beach. Maybe my luck is starting to change after all, but this feels so familiar. Blackpool Tower! I'm at Blackpool! One of my favourite destinations. But I don't recall saying anything recent to Liam about heading to Blackpool. But where could he be? There you are. I was beginning to get worried when I couldn't find you. Blackpool is a massive place.
Sorry, just felt dazed. Wait a minute, what did you say?
That I was worried for you because Blackpool is a massive place.
Blackpool? Weird.
What's weird?
Either my perception of the world is significantly different or something isn't right. Because I can see the interior of the orbis.
How is that even possible? Unless somehow we're in two different points in the universe thanks to my power. But at the same time we're able to see each other, as if there is a split in time.
I love your theory, but I have a better answer. We're dead.
At least my idea was positive.
Something isn't right. I've just seen some faces, familiar faces, that I cherish. Jade, Mitch, Wolf, Deaf Omen, Lauren. Half of these faces are no longer with us, but are people who mean the universe to me, who I'd love to travel in the place I call home. Sarah, think back to when you first went travelling with me. What did you describe to be your paradise?
Oh my god. I said Blackpool, but without all the reckless people. I see nobody having issues with another person. It's hot, and I can see Jodie, my family. Oh my god, even my father. Wait, it's all fading away.
No, stay with me. All of you. Jade!
It's gone. All I see is white. Everything is blank.
Me too. Which at least means we're not dead, but we're close to it.
Do you have an idea on where we are and how we got here?
Well, when you passed out, you emitted a wave of energy that affected the both of us. The power from the weeping angels that touched you and turned to dust was building up in you, and it got the better of you. And me too, given the fact that it knocked me out too. This is Purgatory. We are outside the whole of time and space, outside the bubble, a non-existent plane. Nothing like Jack's place, which had some form of existence, with the orbis able to materialize and creatures from his own hand. In this place, we can't do anything to ensure our return.
Wait, does that mean we are stuck here? Forever?
Not necessarily. Right now, my neural unit is attempting to open a breach back into our universe. However long that may take, however, it's not something I can answer, unfortunately.
My phone doesn't even work. So nothing exists, not a single thing at all. Yet we are both here?
The energy affected the both of us, blasting the affected beings, me and you, outside of everything. Everything that ever happened or will doesn't matter anymore until we find a way back. But my calculations don't have a good enough read on when it can open a way back there. We could be here days, months, or even years.
I don't think a human has ever survived a year without food, so please don't let it be that long.
Hell, the portal could even send us to the past, future, alternative timeline. I'm ensuring the calculations don't result to that, but I've never been in this situation before. So, we're just going to have to make do with this desolate area. An infinite surrounding of nothingness. Just the two of us.
Could be worse. I could be all alone.
For someone who's just been informed she could die here, you're acting very calm about the ordeal.
I know you. I know that you'll want to find a solution to this as soon as you can, and I know if things get bad for me, you'll do something reckless to make sure I am alive. Wouldn't be the first time. Like I said, I could be all alone. At least I have someone carrying alongside me.
Yeah, I suppose you've summed it up perfectly. Whatever time passes for the pair of us, however long the days are, you have me by your side always. You can rely on me. Come on, Sarah. Please be safe. Please don't do this again. Heart's still beating, comatose though. It's still not out of the woods yet. The monitors are showing the powers are severely affecting her brain. Her body has reacted to this and has shut down her body for now. But I need to reduce the energy consumed to guarantee she doesn't flatline. I can't go through that again. Just stay with me, Sarah. You trust me, don't you?
I see no reason why I shouldn't.
Excellent. Liam Catterson and Juliet Raw in The Catterson Chronicles, Series 3, Episode 6, Sarah. Written by Liam Catterson.
You don't blame me, do you?
For?
Causing this. Potentially killing ourselves, slingshotting us outside everything that exists. I don't want you to sugarcoat this. Maybe if I had the confidence to speak sooner.
The way I see it, everything happens for a reason. There is a point to everything that a being does, to every action made. You spoke about not having the confidence to confront me about this power back on the Orbis. You expressed fear like I've never seen from you before, leading you to protecting this revelation. However, I have to ask, what made you cling onto this fear in the first place?
I remember you saying once upon a time ago that even the powers proved too much for a human mind. And I figured that tumour or no tumour, that same procedure would happen. Euthanasia.
If you make it out of this, I pray there is a solution for your problems, but not guaranteed. You shouldn't feel guilty over fear. You're in no reason to feel guilt.
But I am. I just need to be that much braver. Liam, I know you want to see the best from me. I appreciate that greatly. But at the end of the day, maybe I should have come clean. Let myself be brave. Say, it isn't by all means, but I take full responsibility over why we're here to begin with.
Denial.
Denial?
I tell you not to feel guilt for your fear, but you'll deny my assurance. I've created an opportunity for comfort, but you'll still feel the right to chastise yourself. That you're at fault.
It's the story of my life. I only mean well. I try to make things work out for the better, brush bad things under the rug. It comes back to bite me in the end. Making friends, at work, and now hiding this power I didn't even ask for.
You seem to have a deep level of pain. You're suggesting your life has been plagued by pain?
Well, you know it has. You know how my family has not been the most enthusiastic bunch to help me. Not just that, but I have been pretty vocal about how you've changed my life. Not just because I am living an experience that's rare for most other people, but I have someone who cares so much about me. Maybe even more than myself.
More than yourself? You don't need to punish yourself due to the events of your life by showing a lack of care for yourself.
If you never came along, what then? I'd probably be working a 9-to-5 job, rinse and repeat, miserable because people hardly listen to me. Kindness not getting me anywhere to the point where I spend weekends drinking by myself watching Casualty week after week. Sure, there's far worse cases of people who are suffering right now. It's just, I've always tried to leave the best impression, and I either got bullied for it or left behind.
There is that possibility, but thankfully, that isn't happening. The world you live in isn't kind. It's filled with people who carry this belief that nice people finish last, and that's a legitimate thought because others look at people like you, and you're strange to them. Are they distrustful over a kind character? Are they scared? Are they angry? Or maybe we can ask, are they just horrible? Whatever the case, your gratitude is strength for a world plagued with darkness.
I just wish more people would see that. It's like it kills to be kind. No hope on us getting out of this void soon, I suppose.
There's no estimation on when we can escape. No time passes in this void. It will just be ready when it tells me. You know, maybe this power that you despise is something you asked for.
What do you mean by that?
You had the chance to be knocked out by the manipulator since your power stemmed from Time Point. But you ran and became an anomaly in Time Point.
What? You're accusing me for the reason to having these gifts?
You have to think about it. In theory, you were the sole reason for your experiences with those visions you told me about in Time Point. Had you just snoozed with the rest of us, this power would not have been inside you.
And then the manipulator's plans would have succeeded. What kind of thinking is this? We're in a desperate situation and suddenly you're blaming me for what's happened to us. Whatever happened to not being responsible?
I want you to devise a scenario from your thoughts right now. If you had told me about that power you have before we got attacked by the weeping angels, do you think the crisis surrounding your powers would have been ignored? The powers contributed to the disintegration of the angels. However, that would contribute to us being thrown here. I cannot fault your drive to keeping a secrecy such as owning a potentially dangerous power inside you from me, but it's not like you were destined to gain this gift, nor do you have any DNA markers to indicate you're something more. Your powers, your secrecy, you brought us here.
How can you say such a thing? Was I aware of what would happen? I was scared of this power back then, and I still am now. We're at the end of everything, and you've decided to say this. I can't believe you.
Believe it. Sometimes the truth is hard. You're not a bad person for everything your power has contributed to, but the universe could be a little bit darker if we're stuck here, for something that wouldn't have happened if there was no powers in you. It could be the reason for our deaths.
Well, I am sorry. I'm sorry for running from a stranger who's hostile. I'm sorry I wasn't aware that being in an alternate timeline that wasn't even my fault would change me. And I'm sorry that you feel burdened that you have someone travelling with you that has these gifts that I didn't even ask for.
Anger.
Thank you for stating the obvious. You've done something I never thought you would ever do to me. But hey, that's just my luck in life. Just keep away from me before you anger me even further.
Those methods haven't worked, Mitch. I think her powers have taken a huge hit on her mind, and normal means to extract her from a coma are redundant. Thanks anyways. Keep up the good work on Earth. Sorry, Sarah. Seems like even Mitch's methods are not effective. I hope you wake up soon. People in comas can be rumoured to hear people speak to them. Even if you can't, I just want you to be safe. I have felt a sense of guilt for putting you in these situations. That stabbing at Outer Heaven, the situation you're in right now, all the minor inconveniences that I never intended for you to be troubled by. It just pains me seeing you in this condition, and all I can do is just wait for something. What though? You waking up? A blip on the screens? Whatever the next sign will be, I hope it's a sign that you are close to coming to your feet and we can get back travelling again. Please. Can you wake up, please? You'd be telling me to stop being sad right now. Give me some words of encouragement to try and lift a smile on my face if you were seeing this, but the truth is, seeing you like this kills me. You remember the first time we met? When I was born again from the ending of the war? After that business with the Argorians, I ran away. It was a couple of days for me, 6 months for you. I felt that being with you for that day lifted my burden from my shoulders. And looking at your face, your attitude, it sparked something. I actually spent those couple of days thinking if I could allow a delicate and generous person like you to travel the stars with me, with the fear of having you killed. And for one moment, I entertained the idea of partnership. Someone who could blind darkness with their enlightening character. If I had left you to become confused forever, not only would that make me look horrible, but I don't think I could be as happy as you've made me feel for all these years. If anything were to happen to you, I couldn't live with myself. And I'm glad faith played an importance. Your passion has made me see beauty in this universe, and you've inspired me so much. Sarah, you will always be an important part of my life. That's odd. The monitor is showing brain giving off weird scans. Scans I've never seen before. She's not going into shock or is dying. I can't explain what's going on. But maybe a device I have not used in a long time can be able to assist me. Hold on, Sarah! We're not out of the woods yet! I was curious to see if you had become less angry.
Why do you care? I am nothing but a burden to you.
Sarah Penelope, why would I ever think you're a burden?
Let's see, you just blamed this entire situation on me when I didn't even intend on having powers to begin with. You made me feel even worse when I was nervous about telling you this to begin with, and lo and behold, you proved my point. I am always a person who brings nothing but shame.
Untrue. Partially, it may have been your fault for why we are here. But that doesn't mean I think less of you. I love who you are, and what you bring from your personality. You're a wonderful and inspiring person to have. Maybe the way I reacted was not the idealistic approach for something you don't want.
Maybe. Look, I'll admit, in the past half an hour since you've hurt my feelings, I've accepted the fact that my powers led me to this abyss. But I'm not accepting the fact that I am leading the pair of us to die. I didn't anticipate this to happen.
The way I directed my words to you was wrong. I won't shy away from the fact that your powers led us here, but I don't think it's reasonable for me to make you think you should carry that burden.
You don't exactly see me try to put you down every time we go on a dangerous adventure. Sure, it can be distressing at times, but I know you would never deliberately jeopardize me, but I have the confidence that you'll fix any issues we face.
You're not wrong. I do feel selfish any time you're in danger. Travelling the stars shouldn't result in you coming to harm, especially on repeated occasions. And I do feel a sense of main responsibility.
But you shouldn't. Times are tough, like right now, but I don't see how it's come down to you feeling responsible.
Remember our first day when I crash-landed in a field and you discovered me? We faced the Argorians. And then I ran off.
I'm still a bit sore waiting 6 months for you.
Understandable. I gather you felt like you were losing your sanity a dozen times. It's not a case of the norm that a random human living a normal life finds an alien, defeats another set of aliens, and learns about time travel in the same day. But then, I came back eventually. I could have been cruel, left you curious for the rest of your life. You would not experience the joys of time and space, but you would not have this power inside you also. You would not feel vulnerable at times by being kidnapped or feel as if your life was about to perish. Those moments right there are damaging when you have a responsibility, a promise to uphold, and you accidentally neglect that responsibility.
But you said it yourself. Accidentally. Like I have pointed out. The important thing is you do your best to keep me safe. The universe, heck, even the multi-universe, is indescribably massive. It's not like every journey you take me results in us having to put a stop to some form of evil. I'm sure if you were to take me all over the world, we'd have a lot of fun adventures, but also encounter people who are nothing but trouble.
I suppose you've got a point. Being a guardian who wants to be compassionate, protective, and most of all kind can make me feel naturally responsible. I mean, you're a human being. Compared to me, a lot of species that I know, you're so fragile. You have such short lifespans, and yet a lot of races have recognized humanity greatly. And in my many years of being around humans and becoming associated to some in the past, you are one of the specialist humans I've gotten to know. I'm sorry with what I had to say. I didn't mean to harm you. Your powers did have an influence towards landing in this state of purgatory, but not you.
It's okay. I'd give anything to get rid of this power. When I was first diagnosed with this power, I was trying to think of ways to get rid of a power. I even went as far as to perform a satanic ritual in my room once.
A bit out of character for you. What made you believe that would work?
Because I was desperate to get rid of my powers. I would be willing to try anything. I can't exactly Google how to get rid of powers and expect a bunch of experts to hit me with a reliable answer.
You make it sound like this gift is an illness. It could be a great advantage at your helm if configured.
I don't want it configured. I want it gone, and I have since day one. I've tried to cope with it, but to be honest, it's the equivalent to having coal in your stocking rather than a Christmas gift. I will literally do anything to make sure that this power were to be erased from my body, even if it meant making a deal with the devil, even if it meant losing part of my memory. If those offers were at the table to assure I'd never have to deal with this again, I'd be willing to take it. Well, if one of the offers were for me to die, then I'd obviously decline that offer, but you get my point.
Bargaining.
What?
Look at what you're willing to sacrifice in order for you to free yourself from this, as you put it, disease. You've just spoken about trading a memory for your freedom, making a deal with the devil, which, trust me, would be a terrible idea. I would rather make sure we'd find a way to remove this power from you without having to give up an essential part of yourself.
If there's a way, I'll take it. But with how much these powers have affected me, if I did lose a part of myself, I wouldn't complain at this point. I believe a sacrifice is a good thing if it means creating a better tomorrow. No more freezes, no more head pains, no more worries.
Maybe if it's impossible to find a cure or anything that favours you over this power. For now, I'll not have any talk of you making a massive sacrifice. Let's just continue to see if there's an anomaly that may mean progress.
You brought up the word bargaining. How come?
Just stating the obvious felt like it needed to be said.
Interesting. I just thought it was peculiar. It doesn't matter. If we find a solution to this problem, I'll take it. Question. This place, at first it projected images of my greatest paradise, as it did to yours. How does it do that?
You know how people may question physics and how things do not appear realistic. This place links to your thoughts, your brain, your senses. There's no matter, no mass, atoms, anything, but here we are. How? Because it needs to latch onto something to have existence. It's outside the universe, and Purgatory needs to exist, so it links itself to any existing object it can find, and so it appears. It's latched on to our minds, projecting stuff that exists in a void of non-existence. Think a blank piece of paper. It's literally nothing until you tell a story. Whether you make it into a book, scribble notes down, or even make a picture, it strives to become something.
I kind of get it. So, can I project memories and project them here, since this place is basically hooked to my mind?
You can try it.
It's actually working. I see a nursery. I remember this place. It's Rainbow Hill. It's so weird to come up with this memory. It just randomly appeared.
Sometimes your lack of focus mentally can trigger your mind to randomly recollect any memory in your life, be it big or small. You could be drinking coffee one moment, the next your mind navigates to a random memory.
This is where I first met Jodie. I was such a shy child then. I still would be a little shy these days if curiosity doesn't get the best of me. We would sometimes be up to no good, always annoying our teachers, being hyper. Whenever I think of Rainbow Hill, I remember the time I met Jodie. But something is not right here.
Meaning?
That clothing. I recognize it for a reason.
Oh no.
What's up?
I can't seem to find my neural unit. It's not in my pocket!
Maybe it dropped somewhere. It shouldn't be too hard to find in a land where we are the only things around.
No, these pockets are deep, and besides, you'd hear the neural unit click if it dropped. It's not that easy to lose. No, this is bad news. None of my pockets have the neural unit. And that means we're going to be trapped here.
No, come on. There has to be a way. There has to be a place you misplaced the neural unit.
It's not like a micro SD card or anything vital that's easy to lose. The neural unit catches the eye a mile away. And it's gone.
And with that, so are our chances of returning to an existent world. This is all my fault.
Sarah, let's not...
No! I need to accept what I've done. You said it yourself. If I didn't have these powers, if I told you instead of hiding it, I could have prevented this. But now we're going to die because I was selfish.
My words were quickly described without thought then. They aren't now when I say this is far from your fault.
Please, just please don't sugarcoat this. We both know I should have plucked the courage to confess everything to you. You're my best friend, and I've left us to die. I'm a stupid failure of a human. I hate myself.
Sarah!
No, I do. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I shouldn't do this to myself. But all of my life, I've screwed up, and I just ruined things for everyone. Even the person who can defy the impossible. I've screwed things up for you and me. I always fail everything and everyone.
Depression.
I'm sorry, what?
Your thoughts, your sayings. They link to depressive thoughts even when you've been assured it's not your fault. You insist through sadness and pain that it is. And in time, that sadness can be hard to deal with.
No, something is off here.
Everything is fine. Nothing is off. It's just natural for some people, especially those with a kind heart, to feel like this.
I'm not talking about that. Of course, my emotions are real, but something more. Depression, bargaining, anger, denial. Oh my God. These are the 5 stages of grief. Why are you signaling emotions in that model for?
It's nothing, really. I've just had a recent fascination of the Kubler-Ross model.
No, I said something was off. And that model... Whenever someone dies, those are 4 of the 5 basic steps of grief. Why do you want me to experience the 5 stages of grief? They are the only concepts you are outright saying. Not happy, sad, shocked. Just the 5 stages of grief.
Maybe you should relax.
How can I relax? What comes after acceptance for you?
I seriously have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, don't give me that bull. I'm getting into the pattern of whatever you're after. I'll accept something and something will happen. What are you?
Sarah, trust me. It's me.
Okay, you know, when I first encountered Jack and he escaped, you worried after we dealt with him.
That I did.
And we established this protocol, the provision protocol I think you called it. It was a list of 7 words. I'd know the first 4 words and you'd erase my memory of the 3 other words.
Sarah, I'm not Jack.
You think I don't know that? This protocol was made if there was ever a case where I encountered someone who claimed they were Liam. You told me after you erased the 3 words from my sequence that only you could answer the 3 words you removed.
We don't need to do this.
I think I do. You shouldn't have any problems answering this. So if you're really Liam, you will do this for me. Theta, rain, winter, grave.
Maybe this may help. Time, relative, space.
Thank you.
See? It's really me.
No, thank you for proving me right. Remembering this protocol also reminded me that Liam left clues for me to pick up on if I ever did encounter a situation you're worried about, so I could verify if an embodiment of Liam was really him or an imposture. The clues related to an animal, a number, and a colour.
What if I told you I was calling your bluff?
Because I am not stupid. You began to panic. You were unprepared. And even revealing the last 3 words, there was hesitation. Hesitation covering a protocol you set up. Not only that, but I know what Liam is like. You were so focused on your stupid 5 stages of grief thing that instead of comforting me, when I needed it, you just called out emotions that matched each stage of grief. You're not Liam. You're just someone trying to manipulate me by representing the person I can trust the most.
It was fun whilst it lasted. I was confident this method would work with no issues for me, but it appears you're as perceptive as I imagined.
Finally coming out with the truth.
I gave you a fair and calm chance to submit your life to me, but I guess I'll have to turn to another opportunity and take yours by force.
In your dreams? What have you done with Liam and what is going on?
I haven't done anything to Liam yet. But soon, he will understand trauma and depression. He will freeze in the experience of loss and become broken.
Then where is he? You must have an idea if I'm here without him.
Well, we might have a bit of a complication. What was it I said that this place was? Purgatory? Oh, see, that might have been one big fat lie. We're actually inside your head.
What? What do you mean?
Well, when you absorbed so much energy from your power to destroy the angels, it got a bit too much for the simple human mind to handle. They are so limited. But the limitations of a human equaled opportunities for me as the moment you slipped into your coma, I managed to invade your mind. You could have woken up by now, but being a physical form inside your subconscious is preventing you from doing so.
Are you going to tell me who you really are?
Oh, where's my manners? I am an entity called the Harbinger. I was constructed for many purposes, specifically to predict the future. I can shapeshift into anything, a gesture, to lead my victims to death.
Oh, you can forget that. I'm not dying. You're going to get out of my head now.
Oh, there might be a bit of a problem with that. Since we've spent so much time together and you've associated yourself to 4 of the 5 stages of grief, it's allowed me to slowly but surely take over your mind. I have the most hold over you now. Don't you feel the weakness inside you?
I don't know. I can't focus.
I wonder why. As time progresses, you lose more control as I take control of Sarah Penelope.
Liam will defeat you if I don't have the power to do so.
But the poor Orcelian doesn't understand what's going on. Maybe when he figures out everything, it will be too late, and the girl that was Sarah Penelope will only be a memory.
Why are you doing this? What have I done to you to deserve this?
It's not what you've done. It's what Liam has done. Or what he will do if I'm inside your mind. Since we're on the topic of the future, why don't I show you an event within the near future?
I'd like my future to remain a mystery.
But why not have a glance?
Where am I? Is this a spaceship? What am I seeing?
An event so pivotal, it may alter the complexion of your travels.
I hear beeping, like a detonation sequence. And now I see a person. I think I know this person.
Events of a future yet to be cast paints a grim picture.
Wait, that person. Oh my god, it's... That person
Is yet to experience these events. It's none of your concern as of yet.
No concern. I have every right to be concerned. Oh, I can feel myself getting weaker. Please, stop this.
Liam is the only saviour for you, and with little awareness, I can extract revenge by giving you a satisfactory conclusion. You know, if you're so desperate to cause trouble, you might want to be original.
Liam!
What? How did you get inside Sarah's mind? Well, I had to hook myself to Sarah's mind somehow. An induced coma whilst allowing my mind to be connected to Sarah's was the trick performed, so I could get a conversation with you. Oh, a bit of advice for the next time would be not to make it so obvious that I would be able to detect an anomaly inside Sarah's head. Oh, I forgot. You're not going to do this again, because you're going to tell me who you are, and I'll deal with you once and for all. Is that so?
Sarah? Sarah! Are you okay?
No, she's not. Currently, her connectivity to her mind is declining. Everything about who Sarah is will become a was, and I'll be able to take her identity. Or you can just shoot me with one of your arrows, like you usually perform on your enemies, and because I now own the majority of Sarah's mind, it means that death would shut down this body, brain activity would cease, and I guess you'd be responsible for killing Sarah again.
You're bluffing.
You know when you place a file in the same destination with a file of the same name? It then asks you if you want to copy over it. I've absorbed enough information about her and the final nail in the coffin, harness her appearance, voice, everything that makes the soon-to-be shell into this new depiction. Shoot me with one of your weapons, there will be a corruption that kills her.
What is your game? Who the hell are you?
I believe I haven't introduced myself. Call me the Harbinger. I was a gaseous entity that is able to transform into anything, requiring an extraction of information and appearance from my victims.
And yet, you didn't end Sarah the first opportunity you had.
It was kindness. The final chance to express her free will. Her memories and her unknowingly surrender to me by answering the 5 stages of death. But I also wanted to give her a chance to see what could happen if she decided to kill herself by traveling with you. The gas particles that represent my original form were heavily engineered for me to become alive and also see the future. Thus, I knew when she would become comatose, allowing me to enter her mind and to deceive her, but also become honest with her too.
Explains why you're called the Harbinger, but I don't believe you know who I am. My name is Liam Catterson. I am over 500 years old. There are many stories about those who try to threaten me and everything I love. But all those stories end on the same conclusion. They fall.
You think I am unaware of your existence? What do you think my name means? I saw you in a future that spells misery for not just you, but everything that has ever existed.
Yeah, anything that involves me doesn't look good if I'm honest. I am the bad penny.
You're entertaining the idea of overconfidence. It's pathetic since you're underestimating the colossal damage you will experience. You were in a crisis that didn't end well for anyone, and through what you did, I grew nothing but hatred for you. I saw an opportunity for you to feel nothing but despair, a hidden invasion into your companion. She passed out. I prolonged her comatose status.
I kinda gathered you were the blip in Sarah's mind when scanning her. Why do you think I connected myself to her mind? But you see, attacking Sarah is very unwise. You could have worn my face, echo my voice, but what you cannot capture is my feelings. My best friend is not someone you can manipulate!
I'm the one manipulating Sarah, and who is taking her on adventures that sparks her life, giving her meaning? No, I know who you are, what you're capable of, and I've been inside Sarah's mind long enough to know that you attack her more than you entertain her. How many times have you failed her?
Never. She means everything to me. I'll do my best to keep her safe.
You know, reading these thoughts and assessing that statement, I can't help but wonder if I'm talking to Liam or Jack. There have been countless times your companion has nearly perished because of your reckless actions. And you don't know that she's accounted for all the times you have nearly killed your best friend. She's an imbecile to prolong faith in you. If you've done your best to keep her safe, you deserve to be alone forever.
To be honest, you've left out the happy memories.
No doubt you are devoted to her, that you carry a great amount of responsibility to her, but this is a human being, a fragile species, put into situations that will make me question why I travel with you.
You've got total access to her memories, everything about her. So, do me one last favour. Have a deep look into why Sarah keeps travelling with me. Because I'll admit, it's killed me. Knowing that Sarah is put into situations where she could be at risk. Knowing that Sarah's life could hang in the balance. I've given her the opportunity to live a life back to normal, in safety, away from me. But she chooses every time to stay by my side.
Sympathetic humans are prone to a foolish trust. She lacks faith in humanity. Their actions paint a picture of distrust. She even abandoned her best friend so she can tempt danger into her life. She would survive without you taking her across the universe, and yet I see nothing but a painful demise for her. Her addiction to your dangerous drug will see to that.
Sarah's not dying, and she won't today. Now, get out of her head!
You mean get out of my head? It won't be long until the old Sarah Penelope will be a memory, my mind overlapping hers. Once I have completely taken over your companion's mind, maybe I'll leave. Maybe I'll just stick around and watch you suffer. Quite a range on what to do, and there's nothing you can do about it.
There is one thing other than you trying to end the life of such a harmless being like Sarah's that has bothered me. Not so much of an action, rather a question. You said that your intent is to transfer your consciousness into Sarah's mind, am I right?
Well observed.
So, I'm guessing that since the gas entity your original form relies on isn't inside the orbs and got inside Sarah's head, you are the only physical embodiment here, am I right?
That is also correct. What is your point?
You have messed up entirely, my friend. I knew this would favour me, and the final score is Liam 1, Harbinger 0.
What are you talking about? I demand answers.
See, I have to thank you for congratulating me on paying attention to your words, but you didn't pay attention to mine. I said I scanned her to see what was going on regarding the blip my ship reported. I knew there was another entity inside her head, and of course, I worked on a solution to rectify that. That's odd. The monitor is showing brain giving off weird scans. Scans I've never seen before. She's not going into shock or is dying. I can't explain what's going on. But maybe a device I have not used in a long time can be able to assist me. Hold on, Sarah. We're not out of the woods yet. Oh no. Her mind is being overwritten by another host inside her. Her brain activity is declining, but also conflicting with activity of the other host overlapping sections of her brain. No! This isn't happening! Wait. I may have something to do the trick. If I connect myself to Sarah's mind using a portion of my brain activity, this could work. The Eversur. As long as I configure it to attack any physical connections in the mind, this should work.
This isn't feasible. It will kill her.
You'd think that, but me and Sarah, we're not physical in this comatose state. Sure, our brains can die, but the device is only affecting you since you are inside her body, the only physical entity here targeting the original particles. That's what the Eversur is looking for. Kind of like a subconscious Hoover, actually.
No, change it back or I'll kill her.
It's too late to do that. As I speak, the Eversur is obliterating your body, and if your brain gets caught up in that, well, you compared yourself to a computer, so I'd say transferring your files into the storage has been corrupted. You can't transfer your consciousness if there's no brain.
Stop what you're doing! You can't do this!
I just did. You said I was the selfish one. But I am the one who risked it all to enter the same state Sarah is in right now. I sent a portion of my mind in Sarah, fully aware that the slightest corruption could kill off my own brain activity, hanging by a thread.
You risked death in her mind. What sparks this motivation for you? Why risk it all for just another human?
Because I would do anything for Sarah. She's my best friend, my companion, and she's someone who I will fight for every second. Sarah is someone who helped me every moment since I've met her, and I owe her everything. You tried to eliminate the story of a wonderful human. Someone was going to react. In the end, you've lost and failed at trying to take away the life of someone in a vulnerable position.
Soon you will perish, you selfish coward.
You may have been able to tell the future, but you're not able to understand words too big for you. And now I am in a state where I'm talking to myself. Typical. I'll need to get out of Sarah's head so I don't prolong her comatose condition. Sarah. Come on, Sarah. For me. You can wake up, please. Sarah! You're awake! Oh, thank goodness.
This is worse than a hangover. Wait, am I awake?
I promise, you are awake and this is real.
Not so tight. I still feel weak. You know, I have this sudden craving for a nice hot cup of coffee.
Dark roast coffee, 1 sugar, all yours. The time that passed whilst you rested will be longer than the time that passed in your subconscious.
Thanks. I'm so happy I'm out of a hell. Especially with this harbinger controlling me and trying to kill me off suddenly. What was he?
A powerful entity that could see the future that found a connection to the Orbis. Sensed you were about to go unconscious and took advantage of you whilst you were out of it.
That's what the harbinger told me. That when I fell into my coma, it took advantage of my comatose state. I'm not sure if it said this too. It might be my mind, but something's telling me about how it wanted to get back at you by attacking me.
The Harbinger apparently hates me. Who doesn't, to be fair? It mentioned that it all stems from an event that I am yet to participate in. That my actions angered the entity to the point where it acted on revenge.
It seems that way with how the Harbinger tried to use the 5 stages of grief as some form of acceptance to kill me. I was convinced something was up when it said bargaining.
The Harbinger likely formed a key to shut down your body, based on the human grieving process for death. But with what you've admitted to, it seems like the key required you to connect to every stage to show an example of that emotion. I assume once you reached acceptance, the Harbinger would have taken that as your acceptance for death and would terminate functionality in your brain.
Thank goodness I didn't get to see if that were true and that the real you did show up. How did you manage that anyways?
Orcelians do have a more powerful mind than humanity, so using the entirety of my brain would have killed you. But that's why I configured the Orbis to ensure only part of my mind entered your subconscious, and the rest would allow me to wake me up at will. Still wasn't pleasant waking up.
This is all so bizarre. Especially the fact I remember it as if I was physically there. I also used the provision protocol you told me to use if there were ever to be a case where someone claimed they were you. And he also showed me something. But it's like I can't remember. I'm trying to figure what he showed me, but I can't.
I have no answer to your memory problem, I'm afraid, but maybe it was a side effect. Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. You talked about having this power since Time Point, with it coming into play at Outer Heaven. But you didn't tell me why you kept such a critical subject from me.
We had a situation before. A person with similar powers to mine. She had this tumor in her, and you had to put her down. I didn't want to suffer the same fate.
Do you have a tumor too?
No, I've been scanning myself constantly in fear that a tumor would develop, but the only abnormality is the obvious.
Okay.
Liam, I need to tell you that I have never been more scared of anything in my life than this. This experience is something that has kept me up at night, considering what you could do to me, how unnatural this is. I remember that you said you were working on a cure to prevent a human from experiencing these powers they couldn't control.
Amber was her name, wasn't it? It's been over a decade for me, but ever since I've decided to live this new life, it has become one of the toughest choices to make.
Please tell me, did you find a cure?
No. but if you could just wait for one moment.
Deep breaths. Sarah, deep breaths.
Something that works well in public. It's a bracelet that dampens your powers and allows you to control them at any point. I figured that if I can't erase a power from a human being, I could try to create something that suppresses random occurrences and gives the user freedom over when to use it.
Wait. Please tell me you meant every word you just said.
Even if there wasn't a way to make this experience any better, it would be painful for me to accept putting you down. Now you don't need to worry about that. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I don't blame you.
Thank you. So much. You have no idea how much of an ordeal this has been. Living in fear, not knowing how this could be watered down at least. I owe you everything.
You don't owe me anything, honestly. But I understand how much this means for you. I can't imagine the anxiety you've suffered regarding this power, but you've lived the past couple of years needing a lifeline. Today, you no longer need to worry.
I'm just over the moon. This has changed my life so much.
Just one thing. If something abnormal ever occurs for you again, or if you're worried about something potentially happening to you, come to me and not worry. I know Amber's situation didn't help your case of deja vu, but please know that I'll have you alive with every fibre of my being.
I'm sorry. I came close a couple of times, but I froze in fear of what you might have had to do to me, and what damage I could do to you. You don't blame me at all for having these powers, do you?
No, of course not. It was a situation nobody could have known about.
Oh, that's what I wanted to hear.
Oh, another hug? Was it something it said?
Just that since it could read from people's thoughts, I thought you would be mad with me, and that being stranded there was my fault.
Did we forget the fact it tried to manipulate you? I am not mad with you at all, Sarah Penelope. If I were really there, you would never be to blame unless you did it out of your own accord. You have my word.
You're truly the best. I don't say this enough, but I love this. I love everything, and you, this, it means the universe to me.
Acceptance. My acceptance. Don't want to scare you. Your sentimental feelings will always melt my heart. Get that coffee drank as soon as possible. I am taking you somewhere relaxing to shrug off that pressure.
I'll never know how you're able to drink coffee as fast as me.
Next time on the Catterson Chronicles.
Armita, ring any bells?
I think whatever pulled the Orbis here pulled them here too.
Death is natural, and now it's their time.
Medium and precognition.
This force and the staff have a connection.
Hey freak! We're gonna send you to hell!
That's enough! Hold on a second.
You know her?
I've been waiting to kill your family for a long time, including you.